Hi, I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm going to make this short video to show you about this particular solar exhaust fan. So I have set it up outside, and as you can see, it's somewhat a bit cloudy. I mean, the sun is shining quite brightly, but at the present moment, the clouds are obscuring the sunlight a little bit. But I've set this up out here just so that you can see it in action and get an idea for it. The fans are going, and it's all entirely solar powered. And one thing I noticed before those clouds up there actually started blocking the sun, when the sun was just unobstructed and a massive amount of sunlight was hitting this panel, these fans were actually going pretty well, I mean pretty strongly. So I was impressed with that. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Now that the sunlight is blocked by some clouds, they're not going so well, but as you can see, they're still going. I do want to point out that this product is a bit flimsy, at least with regard to this fan panel here. So this is kind of like a very thin plastic here. It is bendable and flexible, and was a little bit difficult putting all these screws and stuff in there because these fans, they're all connected with a set of wires here. There's just one wire that they eventually all assemble into one wire. So I'm going to basically turn this over and kind of show you some about it. Okay, so as you can see here, all four fans essentially have some wires coming out of them, and then they converge into this one wire here. And basically what they did is they just basically put some electrical sheathing over top of that point where they converge at. I mean, as far as the electrical aspects of it goes, that's fine. The fans are fairly good quality. I've seen fans like this inside computers to keep computers cool. Even a little bit smaller than this, sometimes even just this big, depending on how big the computer station is. It did not come with an instruction booklet or instruction manual on how to assemble it, and whenever I got it unpacked, it wasn't exactly clear how these metal face plates should go on, and so I just want to give you the idea here. So this is how they go on, so that they're raised slightly above the surface here. So you put the metal grating on, and then you have to line up the fan in order to put the screw, and put the screw through the metal grating and then through the fan, and then attach the little nut down there to it. So this thing is a bit flimsy. I do not like that. I thought it would have a bit more sturdiness to it, but it is very flimsy. The fans are good though, but just this panel here, this plastic panel, it is flimsy. And look, if you were to bolt that, they give you, each corner has, a hole in it so that you can bolt or screw this to a location. But just look how thin that plastic is there. Look how close it is to the edge there. Because of that, that can very easily break away right there. Once it's in place in something, and if it gets moved a little bit or over time, that can definitely break and come undone. And I would not like that. The solar panel itself is pretty good. So, but the kickstand for it, or this thing, I did not like, and it was a bit difficult putting this in here. They don't give you any specific screw just for this panel, so they give you a bunch of these screws and little nuts, washers that go with them, and you just have to put them in there. They don't give you any tool to help you do it, and it's kind of difficult to get that washer in there all the way behind this metal piece here when you don't have a tool. So I just did this by hand, and this is what I got so far. And just because I couldn't get my finger down in there enough to turn that washer or that bolt, or that nut around on this bolt, so that it would get closer to the metal and hold it in there a little bit sturdier. The stand itself, from what I've tried it out here outside, it does not stand up very easily. There's nothing really on here to give it some grip to keep it locked in a certain place when on a certain surface. So for example, if I try to, that's holding it up okay right there, and the fans are going actually quite well, because at the present moment the clouds are clearing out and the sun is coming through quite nicely. So to give you an idea, the air is actually not coming out here in the front. It's actually blowing more so out here, out the back. And that's why, I guess, why they refer to this as an exhaust fan. This would be just, you know, what you would see, I guess, if you put this up against your window, or, you know, some type of opening in some area where you want to pull air out of and send that air outside. And this is essentially doing that. It's pulling the air in here and sending it out back there. So there's a bunch of airflow back here and virtually none up here. I may in fact turn that around so that the air flows outward this way, toward the front, and I may in fact use this to blow air inside of a room or inside of a location, and have the solar panel outside. And for those who may be wondering, that's who that is. I'm going to use this in some kind of ways, and I may in fact even be able to use this panel totally apart from the fans to, for example, recharge some rechargeable batteries, or, you know, something like that. I mean, I'm still going to look into what all I can do with this panel, but as you can see, here's the connector cord for it, and all you basically need is an adapter to put in there, an adapter like that, and then you could run the adapter to pretty much any other device, including potentially a rechargeable battery or a battery recharger. So I'm going to look into what all I can do with this panel, even apart from the fans. But the combo pack is essentially pretty decent for an exhaust fan for a small room, and it will work. I guess you may have to improvise a little bit to get this how you want it to be, and to give you a bit more sturdiness to it. I just want to add another thing. The cord is not very long on this, so approximately the cord total length is maybe about 6 feet long. I mean, I don't have it fully extended here, but as you can see, there is a bit more cord there to extend out, and all in all, I think when it's fully extended, it would be approximately maybe 6 to 7 feet long. Not very long, so may need to have an additional wire extension for this, just to, you know, extend this panel out to where I want it to be, to, you know, get some exposure to the sun, and to where I want to use this at. So the fact that the cord right now is so short doesn't give me a lot of options, or even anyone a lot of options in terms of where they can put this at. I hope you found the video helpful, and that you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.